So I got interested in aerials many years ago before I ever started taking a class. One of the reasons why I pushed it off was just because I felt like it was kind of expensive and it was a time commitment, and I was also scared that I take a class and I don't like it. So I just kind of stopped thinking about it for a while. But then in 2017, early 2017, I actually got diagnosed with cancer. And when I was going through treatment for about 6 months in that year, all I thought about was the fact that I never took a chance on myself and, just took an aerial class like I had wanted a few years back. So I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I had watched several videos of Pink performing on the hoop and on silks at her concerts, and I thought it was really, really cool. And then I just kept watching YouTube videos of different aerialists. And that helped me get through, what I was going through with my health. But I had promised myself that at the end of treatment, I would just have the courage to just take a class, because why not? Life is short. And that was something that I really looked forward to after I was done treatment and I got better. So that's what I did. I took a class at Ascend Flow Arts, and I took a trapeze and silks class. It was a lot of fun. I did get really sick afterwards, but I went back, and I never stopped since.
What got me into aerial arts and trapeze was really, at that point in time, I needed a job. I needed a summer job while I was in college, and my gymnastics coach said, "Hey, I'll train you as a flying trapeze instructor. Are you game?" And I said, okay. I trust her with my soul, so she believed in me that I could do it, and so the rest is history. Yeah.
The thing that keeps me most driven, I suppose, in aerials is constantly getting inspiration from other people, but also, as someone who wasn't athletic for most of their life, feeling like I'm playing on a jungle gym again as a kid. It's something I say to a lot of people, but it's true. It doesn't feel like a workout, and it feels really empowering and incredible to do feats of strength and flexibility that I never thought possible for myself.
The primary thing that sparks my continued interest in aerial, is the fact that my body is challenged, and it allows me to be able to see myself continually growing and doing things that I never thought that I'd be able to do. That is the most impressive thing to me, both as a student and an instructor, watching other people go through that journey.
So the thing I find that's unique about circus and aerial arts is that you can make it about the performance, you can make it about the workout, you can make it about the people you're chatting with when you're trying not to do the trick that you are avoiding. But mostly what I really love is that you can come in and turn the music on and melt into yourself. You can feel your body, you can feel your breath, you can feel contact with something, and it's, instead of this constant outputting of energy, you are sharing energy, you're sharing space, you're sharing proprioception, you're sharing strength. You get to see your classmates do things, and then you're inspired, or they see you do something and they go, "How'd you do that?" And it just continues to build this process that we are all learning together. And really lights my heart up.
Aerial definitely has impacted my self-image and growth in multiple ways. I would say the main one, though, is as we walk through the world, we have this image of ourselves in terms of, what we've looked like over time. And maybe we're not necessarily happy with things as we continue to grow and age, and we start to think that things are out of our reach. So being able to do things that I couldn't do 10 years, 15 years ago has definitely been a self-esteem booster.
Aerial has made a huge impact on my life, not only from my physical fitness, but also helping me reduce my anxiety, giving me more confidence in myself and my abilities, and really just helping me feel fulfilled in a way that I was lacking. I have a day job that I love, but having an outlet where I can help people achieve their goals, be creative, stretch my own creativity, and maybe pull off a feat of strength here or there is just something that really nourishes my soul.
Sure. Flying trapeze absolutely helped me in my journey as an educator in so many ways. One, flying trapeze came into my life at a time where I was experiencing a lot of transition, a lot of what's next, and ironically, flying trapeze is what grounded me, right? Like it not only did it introduce me to a whole new art form, but also just the belief in myself that I could be taught by others, have a trusting relationship with somebody else in that learning process, that I could master something enough to create with it and to express was incredibly empowering. And to me, that is what education is about.
So aerials has impacted my life in many, many ways. One, I have gotten physically stronger, but also mentally stronger. There are so many things about aerials that does scare me, but my curiosity and my love for the sport makes me want to just do all the things that scare me. And it has trickled down to other aspects of my life where I have certain fears or phobias, and instead of just running away from it, I actually get closer to them. And I think that it all started from taking aerial classes.
Well, I mean, I feel that as a woman, as a Latina too, there are various moments of self-doubt that creep up, and especially when we're getting ready to go to the next level, or when we just feel that there's something daunting ahead of us. And for me, having this experience on a weekly, or however many times I end up doing it a week, where here's a challenge before me, here are the steps to move through it and to master it, right? That is my general practice. Again, has been not just rewarding, but also a way for me to regulate my my insecurities too, and to really ground myself again in that belief in self.
But I was like, there's no way I can do that, but I just want to try, but I don't think I could do all of this. And then you are able to, and you're like, wow, I didn't realize how much I was capable of until I started this journey.
Aerial arts has, no exaggeration, completely changed my life around, not only physically, but mentally. Physical-wise, I used to hate doing any sort of phys ed class. I hated gym, hated playing games, couldn't even do a push-up. I couldn't do anything physical. Bendy as a stick. I had no dancer prior experience at all. And then I started the aerial arts, and now I'm able to do the splits. I'm able to pull my feet to my head. I'm able to do so much more. I can't imagine not having the strength to do the things I can do now, to be able to lift myself up and do all that stuff in the air. It feels like feels crazy to think that I couldn't do all of that before. And mentally, it's gotten me more out there into the world and introduced me to a whole lot of new people, because I was so scared to put myself out there. But going to Ascend just completely changed my mindset around, changed me around physically, mentally. It just totally changed my life for me, and it really put me out there into the world and expanding on what I want to do for a passion.
The aerial community is particularly special because it is predominantly made up of women, and there are very, very few spaces nowadays, particularly third spaces that are not home or work, that are welcoming to women. Most spaces are designed for men, and that is not somewhere, even if women are technically welcome, that we feel comfortable going to. Having circus nowadays as a predominantly woman and LGBTQ space is a real need that's being filled in the community. And everybody is just incredibly welcoming, incredibly kind. They want you to succeed, which is, I feel, something that is sometimes lacking in those male-dominated spaces.
So I have a lot of migraines. I am also hypermobility disorder, and I have a bunch of reasons why regular movement in sports and even sometimes circus is not the best. So I try to make sure that I add my braces or my glasses when I'm in here, because really circus is about accessibility. And it doesn't matter your weight, your size, your capability, anybody can be in here and do something. So making it accessible for yourself and making yourself comfortable so that you can participate in the larger community is so important. And we really try to make sure that folks have those options, or that we allow them to have the space to do what they need to protect themselves or feel good about what they're doing in here.
Regarding as a woman getting into aerial arts, Cirque du Soleil in general is the most welcoming community. It doesn't matter who you are, female, male, no matter what sexuality or wherever you're from. It does not matter who you are. Circus is for you, and especially as a female, it's a nice place for you to instantly feel welcomed into, compared to some other fields that might not be as welcoming for women, or just anyone else of any other gender or anything like that. It's a place for people who don't fit in with the normal. So anyone can come into circus arts.
Absolutely. I mean, the acrobatic circus community is trust. It's siblinghood. It's sisterhood. It's about coming together with a group of people that you may have never met before, but because you are connected through these arts, there's this inherent trust, right? And it is obviously trusting in terms of, hey, your hand has to go here, how about careful putting your hand over here? But it's also incredibly uplifting, right? It's about, you see somebody do something for the first time and everybody uplifts. And many times it's about moves or pieces that you never thought that you'd be able to do, never saw yourself doing, but somebody else was able to see that vision of you realizing it. And, I think that there are, I wish there were more opportunities in different areas of our lives where that would happen, where that would be the norm.
So the the community in circus is really unique in that it's really all-inclusive. I have been really fortunate to go to lots of different studios and rigs and train with different teachers, and the thing that is true every single place is that you're gonna have a whole room of people like cheering just as loud for the person who finally managed to hook their knees on the bar for the very first time as they're gonna cheer for the person doing like pro level skills. Everyone is here like ready to lift you up and cheer you on. I think you'll see that if you go to any circus studio, you'll see that it is a pretty female dominated art form, but you're gonna find people, men, women, non-binary people, like everyone, everywhere. And the thing that's unique about it compared to other types of performing arts are that it's just really non-competitive. So when you're building community, there's not this undercurrent of, you know, I like her, but I need to be better than her. It's not about that. It's very much like, this person has these strengths and this other person has these other strengths, and everyone develops their own unique style, and everyone's really just cheering that on, along with learning and growing and getting stronger themselves. And so it's just such a positive environment, just universally. And I'm really grateful for the friendships that I've made through this community.
Aerial has really seemed like a safe space for a lot of people. For me, I'm not one that's necessarily like super open when it comes to things. I kind of handle things internally. It's not really an issue of secrecy. It's just that's been how I've dealt with, you know, issues, problems, etc. over the years. But I think what has been encouraging in terms of opening up has been hearing like how other people have been able to demonstrate their safety in this space. And you hear people, you know, as they're in the air discussing, you know, very personal things, from relationships to health and that sort of thing. And Aerial has been a space where that has really been embraced. So for those that may not have outlets, and those who do, honestly, it just is another way to be able to physically get out what you need to get out, as well as talk it out as well. I would say that anyone that hasn't tried it, to try it for sure. You know, I've had students that have come in for the first time, particularly men. I found this happen a lot, where they come in and after the class, they've gone, wow, this was really a workout. This is really hard. So I think it's something that, you know, everyone should try because it's empowering. And if you didn't have a respect for the sport, yes, I'm going to call it a sport, even if it's not globally recognized as such, you know, you'll definitely leave with respect for it.
So my favorite apparatus would have to be trapeze, because it was the first apparatus that I ever tried. But I do have a soft spot for silks as well, because it is an apparatus where I just feel like I can keep climbing and there are no limits, whether it's height or the amount of tricks and poses and wraps that you can do, and you feel a lot freer up there.
So my favorite performance experience this past summer, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to produce an entire show. So it was about an hour-long show. I cast about 10 performers to be in the show. I was in 4 different acts myself, and my favorite of those acts, we had a aerial moon with some silks tied to the bottom, and I did a duet with my friend Melissa, and it was a beautiful, powerful act, and it made me cry almost every time I saw it. Doing duo aerial is definitely different than solo. One thing I really love about it is collaborative creating. So this act we did together, we were on an apparatus that neither of us had really done a lot of duo stuff before. So we kind of just got to play around, and that led to us becoming closer friends, and just creating together was really fun.
Well, I think just even this, right? Even this opportunity, the only thing I would add is that this opportunity to reflect on what we do. I think I do single trapeze now. There's a lot of being centered in the moment of what you're doing, and this reflection piece, we don't often get to see it outside of the moment in which we're doing it. So it's fun to be able to look back on the journey and to really connect it with aspects of my life and how formative aerial arts have been in my life, not just in my career path as an educator, but just as a woman, as a Latina in the United States right now, and as a mother, as a partner.